gets not one but 2 steps away. Get the Jo, toes under, and notice I pushed up a little bit, step back, because that is where you're going to adjust your distance. 1, 2, honte, make sure you're honte. Boom. And cover the eyes. He puts the sword down, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and there's it's kind of smooth. You sheath it as you stand up. All right. So the trick here is I'm in gyakute. When I do the draw, I also turn that hand so that honte. Remember the message we're getting here is that gyakute is quick, but honte is stronger. And I am finishing this up. He's in my house. I don't have time to play with him. I'm going to hold him off here. But as soon as he makes a move, boom, we're done. And this doesn't have to be hitting him in the ankle. If he doesn't get out of there, I'm going to hit him in the eyes. That's my first target, is ganmen. And then he steps back, and oh, look, he didn't move his foot. So what you're doing is taking advantage of how two-legged people work. Okay. Let's go again. Nainauchi. Yoi. Here. Okay. Hajime, the sword starts approaching. 2 steps distance, lift, and scoot back for, yeah, you're going to scoot back like this to get your distance. Nice, comfortable, stable position. Sword goes up, turn that thumb and draw. And come back down here, up to the eyes, put away. Okay, so not too complicated, right? So it's hard to do, but it's not complicated. These last 2 are both like that. They're the same that way. Let's sword people grab swords, and we'll practice that a few times. Okay. Oh, step out. Okay. Yeah.
You off? Coming back?
Okay. Okay. All right. Nainauchi. Yoi. Hajime. Gyakute. So you would come up here. Draw and move that foot forward as you draw more. Now come forward, up, and you gotta force me back.
Here.
Hi. And
it goes
down. And you want to get right there. You want to pop that right into that nice bone there. And down. Hey.
Here. Now how do I get this across my? Just pick it up.
Yeah, just put it on the knee.
Go to here.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so I'm not.
I don't have, yeah. Even when we're doing it standing, I just put it where it goes. If that's where my hand is, it goes there. Yeah. All right, Muay Thai.
I go here.
And you want to meet there.
Up there.
And now, as this comes back, you feel that's going to force you back.
Okay.
It should be as if as soon as they touch, bam, they're magnetically glued, But this sword is still traveling like that, and you go, cut, and you just follow it back as far as you need.
Then here, draw forward.
And get that ankle, crack it, and then
Here.
yeah, don't start your put away until I get the sword down. You want to hold it. Okay. Keep it on the eye. There you go. Yes. Okay. Good, good. Here, rotate one.
So just pretend, so you're here. Just put that leg in front.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was in front.
A little sooner. Move, start. Like I said, this one you have to start moving at the when I'm 2 steps away, because this, like so right now.
Over. Go over the top.
Good. And you want to be back there. So when this happens, you have to scoot back with your back leg and get this place. Yeah.
How extended should my arms be, though?
Huh?
Should my arms really be out there? Oh, okay, so this arm should be
Kind of
here.
the relaxed place. You're
So I was probably in the right
If
place, I
you're-
just had the wrong arm position. Okay.
yeah. Always hips, never shoulder.
Bring it up first. Like this.
Now, you see how it's this far too short?
So,
The reason was that's why you have to move that foot forward, because you're just not quite in range.
Okay.
So I'm in range, but you're not. So you compensate for that by going, how about that?
Where's my Joe? This direction.
Put your arm straight down. Middle of the Joe is right, yeah. To where if you put your hand straight down,
That's the middle.
middle of the Joe. Yeah. Nice.
Go down to your ankle.
I did that. Let's pretend I did.
Oh, look at that.
Be able to got my hand.
Whack.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Dale. Would you attack me once so I can show you?
And more over the top with that.
More over the top?
Yeah, so when you come out here, zzz, yes. And it gets to over the top because I'm here and I'm here. Oh, excuse me, da-da-da, bump, boom. So I'm on this foot. And I got my Joe right here. And I go 1. Let me do this. Da-da-da-da.
That back foot out there, right? So there, the hand turns over. Honte, but out of the way. So all I can do is
Here,
there.
1,
Now you're back down on your knee.
2, so I just bring it to the knee because my hip's too far back. And then it's going to straighten out here because I'm pulling this
Okay.
to my hip, and that puts it on back on line. Hey. Muay Thai,
My legs straight.
Nainauchi, Hajime. Nice. A little too close. So when this catches
The
here,
reason I'm too close is because I've got my hands out. I'm in the right place, my hands are in the wrong place.
okay.
It's the same thing as last time. Everything is fine, so here it is.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's where you want to be. All out. It's just a foot, just draw it straight back. Hands over. Yeah, just take your hand. There you go.
Good, very good. Yeah. So if you ever find yourself sitting around the house with your Joe, and yeah. Hey, Muay Thai.
Pain starts when you skip that.
I didn't
So
really get the
especially-
beginning. You said, oh, very good.
Well, seriously.
Now I'm too close.
Yeah. So you should have a feeling when that happens. Let me do the technique and let you come with the sword. You should have the feeling of the weapons are glued together at the top, The sword's coming forward and it kind of pushes the stick backwards. Or you could think of it as the stick is drawing the sword forward to where the sword wants to be anyhow.
This enough. This is like one of those ones you don't want to do too.
You just
Here, up, yeah.
And then
Oh, sorry, you bring it back up. All the way back
You
up.
bring it up, just point it at the guy.
And
Don't,
then I put it down.
it's just
And
so
then-
you can
You're going to raise the sword,
if you're trying to.
and I come in and
I do not think that's a nice
you wanna
idea.
point it
So
up.
do I step back or do I
you
just
step
stand
back with just with that foot.
Closer to your side.
Keep the sword up, and then,
Yeah.
there? Changed my mind.
yes. Yeah, I should leave this here until you bring the sword down.
Here. Well, that's
And then
wasn't that
So something to work on is to make sure that when you draw the sword, the stick back like this, it becomes like a pull stick straight back that doesn't
Where you got it, you are the
do
one
that.
responsible.
I actually am trying really hard.
Yes, you're doing a great job. Like I said,
But it still wobbles
I'm
a lot.
correcting things that you're not doing. So
No, I know it wobbles. I'm like, okay, this is as straight as I can go.
yeah,
I used to replace all my lunges, I think about it.
yeah.
Don't do whatever it is
Lunges you're not actually doing. You're going to replace them with not actually doing this.
Yeah.
This would be so easy if I wasn't on my knees.
Not yet. Yeah. Let's take a look at the distance.
I do like that. Going from
Now
that's a good feel.
and see a little bit. Go a little bit back. This should be, with your comfortable position, should be right here on the sword.
Okay.
Hey.
Little bit easy.
Shoot, it's not going to work. I have to do this.
Yes. And you see how that really crunches me.
Yep, I got off.
Really, I feel squeezed there.
I have to go eat at more Japanese restaurants. Get the hang of it.
Straight.
Good. Yeah. There's
It
a
wasn't quite right. Yeah.
no, but there has to be this little feeling of threat, so that if I'm here and you have the sword out in front of you, we're crossing our weapons, and you're going to lift that up. What does this feel like to you?
A tiny bit of a threat.
How about this?
Oh, God. Oh,
And what happens if you swing real quick? I'm going to do this.
quicker.
Yeah, because I'm well. Even if we're the same speed, we got to assume that you're fast, right?
Okay.
So when you go up and I do this, and you swing forward and I do this, we're going to have this, this interception. So don't worry about that yet.
Okay.
Later on, later, we do hitting the sword while it's moving into you and all that stuff. But in this case, we are learning to attack someone. Because like I said, if I'm back here and I go like this, it's not very intimidating. But there's this whoa. It's like I'm trying to attack, and all of a sudden, the tidal wave comes in. Is going to hit me. It's kind of a neat feeling. Okay, how's everybody doing with this guy? Everyone? Okay, let's move on. We'll do the next one. Get everybody up off their knees, because there's a few of these. If you notice, the seitei doesn't have all this kneeling stuff. All this. I'm going to squat down here. And I'm not quite sure why, but. I think probably because that would be a barrier for entry. People might say, that doesn't look like fun. But, if you got good knees, you're going to do iaido and you don't care. But, so maybe that's why. Let's, the very next technique, the last one, is called honte-uchi. And honte-uchi means you're on the road. I think there's a basho.
That'd be a bag on it, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Bag on the back, right?
I'll tell you, for the first few years when I was doing this, I could not help it, but I would whistle the Andy Griffith theme. So, but yeah, you're walking down the road like this, and a lot of the positions you're in with the Jo, these are not combative places. You know, Carl used to call it bored sentries. You know, you're out here, you're just doing this crazy, goofy stuff with the stick. You're not ready for anything. I'm walking down the road with the bag hitched on the end of this, and there's the sword guy, and this is a sheathed sword. So this is a little different. Now, we got to be careful with this kata, because the way we practice it, it's the last part of last omote, last of the beginning kata, but it's practiced like the second set, like the Chuden, which is a little bit stronger, faster, more aggressive, a little more dangerous, a lot of simultaneous stuff happening. So we have to be a little careful. We're gonna throttle it back just a tad here. But what's gonna happen is, I see him coming, and I'm gonna preempt this. You know, we've had kata where I cover his hand. I'm gonna strike him on the top of his head. I'm just gonna take this, pick that up, and crack him right through the crown of his head. He turns sideways. There's only one thing sticking out, and that's the tsuka. So you'll usually have that strike. I'm not trying to hit the sword. I'm trying to nail him right down the center. And I'm now in this position. He's going to turn his hips and point the tsuka at me. And now he's going to start drawing. So this is bad. If I stay down here, there is a school of thought that says I stay here. He lifts the sword up over the top of his head, and now I get him. It's a straight cut. It's not. But the problem is, if I have my face sticking out here, he's likely to crack me with the end of that sword rather than, let me get out. Yeah.
Sucker out and get
right,
it my hand. Do nothing with it.
You know, there's the cutting end thing, but you do have an attack right there. So just to be safe, when this happens here, and he starts to turn, I come up, and now this is a simultaneous strike. If he strikes all the way down, he's going to get it right in the eye, and the sword's going to miss anyway. So he's going to stop that cut right there. It is somewhat important, a little bit forward. You notice that if you have this rotated up, I'm going to hit that bone right there, that bone. But if you run it forward a little bit, then you've got a muscle. So bam, so you catch that on your forearm muscle. Now, he's going to step back. I do kaisazuki. He's going to finish his step back, and I'm going to pop him right here. And notice I have him a little bit backwards. He can't really step forward. I'm going to draw this, and when I do that, I attack eyes here, and so that's it. 1, 2, twitch the sword to the side, please. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's do one more. And this has a little bit wider distance. Each knee, san. I take a big step and come after him here. I wouldn't normally get to him. I stretch that step. 1, 2, a little bit more forward. There you go. And then he steps off of it, goes back. I do here. Hold. 8. Did that answer a question for you? Okay.
I got to talk about the attack on that. Correct.
Yeah. No, your attack was fine. So the big confusion point on this is, why do I not get my hand cut off? This place?
Yeah, I know. They like to talk about that confusion point because I think they're totally hammered with it. But anyway.
1, 2. There's about 3 or 4 different answers for it. But the basic motions are pretty simple. Let's do it by the numbers. We'll just walk through it, and then we'll pair up to practice it just a little bit. So honte-uchi, I'm going to reach underneath the center of the jo, bring my hand to the end, elbow comes straight out from the ribs and it's on my shoulder, going down to the fishing hole, and you're going to start off left, right, and then at this point, when the swordsman is just a little bit in range, I take a big step and strike through his head, come up to full kaisazuki and strike that wrist, come up and do kaisazuki, thrust, pull back, and big overhead honte. Put away. 1, 2, 3, left side, put away. Good, good, good. And go back. honte-uchi, yoi. Hajime. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. Rope. And this, stays at the eyes. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Hey. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. Rope. And put away. 1, 2, 3. Hi. Okay. So what's interesting about this, to me anyway, is that it's simple, right? What are we doing here? We do a honte-uchi, we do a kaisazuki, we do a kaisazuki, and we do a honte-uchi. It's just some kihon thrown together. But the sword side and how you're interacting and the timing on this one, it's kind of proof in the pudding time. We're going to do something dangerous. We've got a kind of a wild, wide open encounter, and you've got to control it with your kihon. So just get the sword people, and we're going to walk through that by the numbers a little bit. Why don't you do Joe? You okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me get you to move down so I'm in the middle a little bit. We have, yeah, there we go. Zoop. Okay, so with the sword, we're going to be a little bit further back this time. Okay, Jo goes from Sune no Kamae, goes up to the shoulder. This is honte-uchi, walking down the road position. Get your elbow, yeah, bend that, yeah, there you go. More like that. All right. So real slowly, sword is going to start off right, left, right. And you're going to be tempted to reach for the sword here because I'm getting to where I can attack. Do not do this, because when that stick comes, if your hand's on there, you're going to get your knuckles busted. So in reality of 17th or 16th century samurai, blah, 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 you'd break his hand right here, but we don't like that part. So we're going to go right, and you start walking forward also, left, right, left. And then at this point, now, this has to come right through the top of my head. So take a big step and reach out and whoa! I just turned sideways, cracked all the way through to there, to the ground. All right? Now, swordsman, hand goes to the hilt. I turn my hip. This Jo goes up to your shoulder. And I'm going to draw this out and diagonal cut here. And you're going to put that in my eyes. Bop. Here. All right? Now, swordsman is going to step back and raise the sword, and she's going to pop me right in the center. Now, at this point, you are with us? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to step, I have to step back now on my right foot because I'm being pushed back. She's going to draw the stick, while pointing at my eyes. Zat, pull. Yeah. So you acquire your target, and I'm going to start this cut, and she's going to come right down the middle and stop on my eyes. Okay? I've heard this last motion has been described variously as uchidachi steps back and lowers the sword on the left side. That's the safest version. I could try to cut her and force her to not let me succeed. That's a little bit hairy, a little bit more dangerous. So right here, this is what's going to happen. However it gets there, that's how that happens. And I'm going to now relax my wrists a little bit, and she's going to do the put away. And I step back here. All right, let's do it again. Together, honte-uchi, yoi. Right. Hajime.
Let me stay. Okay, there. Okay.
Start your kaisazuki.
I better do something like this.
Jack,
Yes.
shortcut is this side kesa?
Yeah, it's a left side kesa.
And I'm getting
Your
wrist.
left.
Get your wrist into your eye.
Same hand, same foot forward. There you go. All right, and raise the sword, kaisazuki. One, and then honte-uchi. Sword is starting to cut, and I miss. I'm forced offline, and relax the wrists and put away. My wrist, not yours. Okay. How's that?
We're good, yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't know that cut, and my feet keep jumping backwards, so,
All right.
but I'll fix that.
Let's do that a few more times, okay? As a group, well, just kind of own pace. Hajime. Hey.
I was supposed to keep walking. I forgot. Okay.
This is a come get you kata. It's like, hey, that guy's got his sword and
I'm already confused at this point. You know, we're doing this right, I don't know. But okay. Left, right, left.
oh,
No, that's not right. My feet are wrong.
yeah. When you do the kaisazuki, so you've done this, right? Because you were here, you're holding this. Oh, and you're on this side. Boom. Right.
Okay.
Think about your same side hands where you're being,
Okay.
and you're just gonna come back
Oh, okay. From here?
and
Okay, I was going forward
Yeah.
with my right. It's back with my right.
yeah,
And that will have my left foot forward.
yeah.
And
So
then
you're
I
here.
do this.
And if you have one of these belts, you can do that number. Yeah. If you have a rope that you tie, it doesn't work so good. Just holds your pants up, but doesn't hold your sword up. So.
Okay.
Other one back.
Darn it, I thought it was, oh, right foot back.
Oh, start coming. Freight train. That's really good.
It's terrifying.
I know. But you see how even if I wanted to cut you right there, you got freight train coming at me. And I'm like here, So, and then I have this little problem of flat thing versus round thing, and it just is gonna vector it off. It's kind of it's kind of this guy. So you have the sword up, and you're gonna try. I mean, I could do that. If you don't back up, I'm just gonna sweep the sword and get you anyway. So what happens is a little bit you're here. And I want to show you how quickly from this place and your sword's up over your head and you're getting ready to cut this hand, because this is where you can get me. And I'm not moving off I'm not getting away from it.
But I had better move back.
I'm coming in, moving through like that. Yeah. And it's really weird because, sword, very dangerous. But I can't get through the stick. I can't. It takes the space where I need to be. It's a little bit like when, I'm going to use a Mato sensei, but it's a little bit like when Mato sensei says, oh, we're going to do this by doing that. He just goes right through you. And that's what the stick's doing. It says, yeah. I'm just going to go through. Hey, let's try. Together.
I just feel like I'm about to get my head cut off.
I think I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do this and step back with my right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But not far back.
Not far back.
You're going to be here with it. Yeah. And the reason, yeah, good. Isn't that kind of funny how it just,
It's right there.
you just barely get away. Oh, hi, good. Okay. Relax hands a second.
Yeah, it just goes over, right?
A little bit wider grip. Your grip's too narrow.
I feel like on that honte-uchi.
Ah, okay. Dale, do you want to do the stick side on that? That's it. Okay.
Oh, I don't go forward there, or do I go backwards?
Just a little back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna go the other opposite. Then they're gonna come, except for I tilted. Actually, it's not tilted.
Forward. Yeah. On the put away. Put away is.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to go through that. That was why.
By the way, if I put my thumb here, very dangerous. So, our teachers, they all yell at you if they see you do that. So.
Big, here, bang!
No, stompy, yeah.
Into the kaisazuki signal, and the only thing you have to remember after that is so it got pushed up.
Yeah, go ahead and
Pushed up, it
boom,
naturally goes
boom.
here.
So bring it
You push them away.
full, regular. That, there you go. And then,
So
yeah.
here, 1, 2.
So no stop.
You don't advance it and you're looking at it. You never. So it happens to be sticking out. Stop. So.
But I gotta go faster there. Not faster, but more efficient.
Yeah. And there's not really a pause. Yeah.
There's not a pop.
If you're teaching it and you're tweaking and looking at it, maybe, but real full size. This is the Chuden thing, is that there's really not pauses the way we think of it in Omote. It's together. So 1 together. together and together. That's kind of the